It's time we have a talk. Guys, this is Hypnovision Studios, and today I am bringing to you a discussion that I have tried to avoid. But the time has come for us to discuss the energy of a narcissist. If you've been following my channel for some time, you know that I often speak about emotion as energy, meaning energy in motion, the body and how it has been animated from the thinking thoughts of the human mind. And today is no different. While I do think that the term narcissist is highly overrated, I'm going to give you some examples, but not fully cover it because the topic has exploded in recent years and there is a lot of misleading content out there. So I will try to be fair and balanced in my presentation. However, I am going to give you some personal testimony of how these type dynamics have played out in my own life. So with no further ado, I invite you to understand the energy of a narcissist. The energy of a narcissist does not begin with pride. It begins with pain. Long before the mirror was admired, it was broken. No child is born needing to dominate love. And guys, I am radiating at this moment. Some grow up only receiving love when they perform, when they achieve, when they hide their pain, or when they shine just enough to make someone else proud. Love becomes conditional, presence becomes transactional, and somewhere deep inside, a fragile child begins to disappear. Piece by piece, emotion by emotion. To survive, they built a mask strong enough to protect the wound and loud enough to distract from it. Behind every narcissist is a child who didn't feel safe being soft, who was shamed for crying, punished for needing, ignored when they asked to be seen. Guys, I'm going to pause for just a minute because I'm willing to bet that just about every single person out there has had or experienced at least one aspect of the narcissism energy. And it's not just a single person. This energy shows up with different faces. Sometimes it is you. Sometimes it is me. Yes, I have been on the narcissistic energy myself. And I spent many years trying to understand why I was even doing the things I was doing. So much inner conflict, so much pain hidden on the inside. But I got news for everyone out there. It doesn't always have to stay that way. But let's continue. So instead, they learned to be impressive, to be charming, to be everything but vulnerable. That mask becomes the only version of them allowed to exist. They have to become someone else. As adults, they don't just enter relationships, they enter transactions. And I swear to God, I'm telling the holy truth, nothing but the truth and the truth. Love becomes a stage. Connection becomes control. They seek admiration, not intimacy. They desire attention, not accountability. They are not able to account. And when you offer them your heart, they see it as supply, not sacred, because they don't know how to receive love. They only know how to extract love. There is a cycle that continues, and that cycle repeats. The wounded child, now fully grown, seeks others to mirror what they were denied. To mirror what they denied. Now, guys, I've spoke about this before. There is a difference in the mirror principle where we use this for self-reflection. Am I the one that needs to improve certain aspects in my own life? Am I the one that needs to change these certain things? And I've talked about journaling an awful lot on my channel. However, A narcissistic person can only mirror what they physically see with their eyes, and they do not really have the full inner understanding. This is the biggest way that you can see the difference in the mirror. But they can't offer what they never received. They can't nurture what they had to abandon. It's mighty strange, the word nurture, because I once spoke this out to a person and then they started to act weird. And while their mask shines, their inner child still hides, lonely, unloved, and unseen. For the ones who love them, if you've ever loved a narcissist, you were not weak, you were empathetic. You were not weak, you were empathic. You saw the inner child behind the mask, and you tried to save them. Let me repeat that again. If you've ever loved a narcissist, you were not weak, you were empathic. You saw the child behind the inner mask, and you tried to save them. But the truth is, you can't love someone into healing if they refuse to face the wound, and you are not the one who broke them. You are not the one meant to fix them. Might I add that it is never up to a child to fix a relationship with a parent who damaged it. Let's continue. You are the one meant to learn, to grow, to reclaim the love you gave away too easily. The energy of a narcissist begins with unmet needs, but it feeds on others' light. You were never the source of their emptiness. You were simply the mirror that reflected what they refused to see. Now that you know, you don't have to carry their story. You get to write your own with truth, with boundaries, with love that nurtures and not drains. The cycle ends with you. Let me repeat that. The cycle ends with you. You are the generational curse breaker. You are the one who can see the change you desire by changing yourself. Guys, I've tried to stay away from this topic because if you've never tried to heal from narcissistic abuse, once you get away from it, you never want to go back. Once you get away from it, you see life very different. Once you gain emotional stability for yourself, once you learn to manage your own emotions for yourself, once you learn to manage your own feelings for yourself, you will never go back. Now, I want to read to you something that I wrote. These are just experiences that I've had with people with this type energy. Again, guys, I see emotion as energy. So once you start to see this, once you start to understand the narcissistic type stories, you will see the energy for what it is. You will see beyond the face. You will see beyond the mask. You will see what is unseen. You will see the contents of the human psyche. I guess that makes me a psychic. I'm going to also share some stuff from Neville Goddard because, as you remember, if you've watched my channel for some time, these stories can be revised. This is known as revision, the pruning shears of revision. And this is something, honestly, that a narcissistic person does not know how to do. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. They simply don't know. They keep repeating the same cycle over and over and over and over. Did you know that it takes around 7 to 8 years for a human being's nervous system to reset after leaving a long-term relationship? Science really does back this up. No wonder so many people leave relationships and go right back to them. No wonder people will trash other people and end up right back together. So please allow me to read a little bit from my notebook. I want to thank the person who sent me on this journey. Despite you keeping your mask on and staying behind in the places that broke you, it was you that was the catalyst of change when you asked me to pray for you. I bet you didn't know that I was an empathic person. I am a hedge path, and I do hedge paths. I had to learn a lesson to set boundaries and to stop others from preying on my emotions. It forever changed my life, and I began to break generational curses, and I started to free my family. And now here on YouTube, I am freeing God's children from many walks of life, reaching worldwide, reaching other countries, reaching people from different walks of life. I am effecting change that only I could see. And for that, I am truly grateful to have met you. I often talk about Never Got Her on my channel, guys. The feeling is the secret. It changed my life. I am absolutely a firm believer and someone who highly recommends and suggests this book to anyone who wants to improve their life. A man awake is under compulsion to express his subconscious impressions. If in the past he unwisely impressed himself, then let him begin to change his thoughts and feelings, for only as does so his will change the world. The part you play on the world's stage is determined by your conception of yourself. The feeling is secret. The law of attraction is real. The law of vibration is real. The 7 hermetic laws, for me, very real. My saving grace was not found in a church. It was not found at an altar. It was not found doing rituals that other people taught me. It was found internally, inside, where that inner child lives. I set it free. This is the very last page from The Feeling is Secret. Instead of believing in God or in Jesus, believe you are God or you are Jesus. He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. He that believes as I believe, he that believes as I believe, imagination, image of God. He that believes as I believe, the works that I do shall he also do. He believed himself to be God, and my Father are one. It is natural to do the works of the one you believe yourself to be. So live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. When a man believes in the value of the advice given him and applies it, he establishes within himself the reality of success. In other words, the firm faith and knowing internally. Jesus couldn't work the miracles in front of the people who taunted and tried to make fun of him. On the other hand, the undisciplined man finds it difficult to believe that which is denied by his senses and usually accepts or rejects solely on appearances. So again, guys, very dominant on the visual perception of reality, not the feelings. You see, in 2025, most people are not in touch with their feelings. They are not in touch with their emotions. They do shit they don't even know why they do it. The word sin, according to Neville Goddard, is to miss the mark. And if you miss the mark and you keep on reliving, obsessing, repeating that moment over and over and over, that means sin. To put an anchor down on a mistake and to live there. It keeps you from being present. Get it? What is a gift? A gift is present. It is a present. What does Santa Claus bring you? A present. What do you get on your birthday? A present. So be present in the present moment. That is the gift of life. Spell life backwards, you get evil. So sin is to put an anchor down on those regrets, those mistakes, to miss the mark. Tomorrow is a new day. Guys, I can't make this stuff up. I didn't imagine this stuff. I didn't make it up. I did a whole lot of research, and I became brutally honest with myself during the process of doing the research. I have no reason, no need to get on YouTube and to lie to anyone out there. Narcissism has an energy signature that's very undeniable. That is the energy of a narcissist. It doesn't create. It only copies. Like a Xerox copy machine. That is what a karmic energy is. I will see you guys on the next one.